Commissioner, Board of Commissioners Chairman. Today is Wednesday, July the 9th, 2025. Please silence your phones if you got them. And I'll call this meeting to order. It is being recorded on Zoom and on YouTube. And I think that's all we need to say to start it. So please stand for the pledge.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Please bow your head for the invocation. Dear Heavenly Father, we are gathered here today once again to conduct the official business of our wonderful county. We ask that you watch over us and help us make managerial decisions that are needed to be made today for the benefit of our citizens of our county. We ask this for your guidance and blessings, and not only for today, but for every day forthcoming. We do this in your holy name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Okay, we're on the roll now. Let's go with the roll call, Kim.
Commissioner Kanda.
Here.
Commissioner Epp.
Present.
Commissioner Vogelsong.
Present.
County Attorney Dan Slater.
Here.
And BOCC Admin Caitlin Womack. Here. And Clerk to the Board.
Okay, thanks. Audience introductions, and we'll start with the Eagle Scout family.
My name is Stone Everhart.
Just tell your names, all we need.
Stone Everhart.
Corey
Everhart.
Eric Everhart.
Okay.
James Perry.
Okay.
Jeremiah Coleman.
Vance Rodenbridge.
James Gilbert.
Up Smith, Human Resources.
And Roy, citizen.
And Wilson, citizen.
Jim Chapman, concerned citizen.
That's always good to have.
Good.
And online, we got how many?
You got 3, John Price, Rob Klein, and Terry Stacks.
Okay, great, thanks. Okay. With that, let's amend the agenda if we have to. You got anything?
I don't have anything.
Yeah, I think.
No changes.
I don't have anything either. Okay, approval of the minutes, June 25th, 2025. I move we accept the minutes. They look great to me.
I'll second that motion.
Any comments?
No comment.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Paul?
Aye.
Lucas?
Aye.
And aye. Commissioner items, how about you, Paul? Got anything?
No, the fair's pretty much rapidly approaching, and we are up and running. We're gonna get the grass cut down today and tomorrow. Cleanup starts tomorrow morning, I believe. Some people over there are gonna be raking and cleaning up everything, and we should be ready to kick off fair right on time and fully operational. All right?
Thank you. Lucas?
So we had a finance briefing with the department heads. We're gonna start doing that quarterly, just to keep everybody up to date with where we're going, with what we're doing, and try to improve our processes and our systems. Attended the Fremont County E911 Authority meeting. They always have a spot for us to give them some information on how things are going. They would really like us to join with them. It maybe would give us more of a voice over Lumen and what Lumen does and the support we need from them. But that's a larger conversation. But anyway, just wanted to report on that. Starting to have a lot of agricultural tourism meetings. We've kicked this thing off. The grant and accepting that grant will happen on the 23rd if we choose to do that as a board, but we're getting information together to have more details and allow the public to get some of that information and get some feedback from the ranchers on that. So John Van Doren's basically going to lead that project, probably along with myself, and then had a tourism board meeting yesterday, and just talked about some of the tourism. It appears like it's down across the state. It just kind of depends on what metrics you look at and where you look. But the lodging people are saying the people staying overnight are dropping. They don't have quite the lodging people, so.
Since you brought that up, we know that we had to put the bug in that we might want to raise that tax, but.
And that'll be on the 23rd
That's on the
as well.
23rd when we're gonna look at that.
Yeah, because we have to get that decision to Kelly by the 25th.
So we'll decide whether pro or con on that.
Yeah. So that's what I had.
Great. Yeah, but it's a great time. I'm sure everybody had a great Independence Day, and you probably still have visitors. We got another tranche of family in last night, and it's not ending yet. And so it's been a great time. Great parade, I thought. Great fun that everybody had. Fire truck was a big hit, Jeremiah.
It was hot.
It was hot, and all the kids loved it.
Yeah.
So some of the parents might have had second thoughts, but it was great. And so then we are working still, and Caitlin's involved with Mark Carmel. We're trying to get Stephanie Luck. She's got 3 dates that looks like their team's ready, and we'll look, she's gonna pass those on, and we'll pick the date that the 3 of us can be together and attend that meeting with Stephanie on our pornography initiative. So stay tuned on that. And the airport's preparing for the Air Fest, and things are going fine right now. There are no issues. The only issue we had was a car that it was hard to move, and we got that taken care of. They're working that this Thursday. And that's all I have right now, except Vince likes to make trouble. I just want to let everybody know that he's out today. They are working on rest of Silver Cliff today. Vince, you got it going?
Silver Cliff's finished up. We're working on County Road 328. We were working on it yesterday. The chipper that we borrowed from Fremont County decided to break down. We had to cancel. Fremont County come up from Canyon City and their mechanic, and they got it fixed. So I'm in contact with the guy that sprays our oil and see if we can reschedule, and we'll work Thursday and Friday to finish up 4 miles on County Road 328.
And then the next object that you were going to do was asphalt, or are you going
We're
to
gonna
pick
go
chips
back to asphalt on Schoolfield and Horn Road.
and finish that project? And you finally did get the sign moved, but it was nice to slow traffic down there anyway. Okay, so we'll stay tuned for that. Things are going along, and then we'll also be working with finance to figure out how to fix what we got and get it back up chipper. We need it. Okay, that's all I have. How about you, Dan? You got anything?
No.
No new lawsuits? No new?
No new lawsuits.
Okay.
We're getting rid of lawsuits now. Hopefully.
That's good.
We just don't answer them.
Well, that's a problem.
That's the easy way to do it.
We just,
Caitlin, you got anything?
No.
Okay, and the fair is going fine as far as I know. You mentioned that. We did ask Vince, you're gonna be able to finish mowing the sheriff's range?
I'm taking care of that.
You got that? Good. Okay, unfinished business, anything? I think we're good. New business, we'll move right along here, so let's have the ceremony up front here. I wanna hear what the recognition of Stone Everhart's Eagle Scout project how did it end up? What's the story?
Thanks for coming.
Congratulations.
So Stone Everhart here, he had an Eagle Scout project, and we got it finished in time for the fair. So we just want to say thank you for your service to this community, the service to our fair, for making it the way you did it, so that if our fairgrounds ever moved to another location, we can move it fairly easy. So thank you very much for your service to this community. We've got a plaque here for you, and if you want to take a picture with the 3 of us.
Yeah, let's stand up here. Get Paul on one side. Congratulations. Give him a hand.
very good.
Yes, sir.
Things always go better when there's pressure.
Oh, yeah.
You did a great job. Thank you. Okay, Wet Mountain Valley Fire Protection District setback variance. Jeremiah.
Jeremiah.
Hey, sir.
Welcome.
See, we didn't set the mics up, did we?
No.
So we'll have to talk loud.
Speak up a little
We'll
louder.
speak up.
Big boy voice.
Yep,
Big
Oh,
boy.
loud as you
Yeah,
can. Aim a little bit toward
I
them.
don't like to yell,
You
so
can always tell you're on the radio. It sounds like, you know, Smokey Bear
I
himself.
try not to get worked up about much, so.
Use your
Doesn't-
chief voice.
Doesn't do
Yeah,
me
use your
any good.
chief voice. In a fire.
Yeah, it's about the same.
Oh,
A little more coughing maybe, but.
no. Yeah.
Alright, so, I guess kind of what we're asking, I discussed it with Vince, he was okay with kind of what we're working on. So we were awarded a grant, got attached through the state, and it went to FEMA and then got approved for a backup generator that will run our whole station, here, our main station in town. Right now, we're operating off of a little Honda generator, and we have to shut a million breakers off and turn on just a couple.
If I can add to that, I'm also looking at a generator backup for Wetmore, so we can fuel out of there if we have to.
Okay, cool.
Just let you know, I
Awesome.
tried to track you down, you were a little busy last week.
Yeah.
So you need the setback variance to do.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if you guys have
Yeah.
received the map.
Yeah.
Yes.
So over on our, kind of the northeast side of the station, that's where our power comes in right now. We already have a concrete pad that's poured there. That's kind of the site, proposed spot to put that. Well, we have to put kind of barricades to where it can't be ran into. We have to put a cover over the top of it to keep it out of the weather. The issue I think we ran into is our property line. The district property line ends right at the edge of that concrete.
Is there a fence separating road and bridge there?
That's kind of on the front side of the firehouse.
Yeah.
Kind of our station and the road and bridge there are kind of in that fenced in area. So yeah, right in front of that current Connex box on that pad is where we're proposing to put the generator. And then on this edge here, we've purchased another Connex box that's longer, about twice as long as this one for our mechanic. That would kind of serve as our protection on the east side of the generator, from any vehicles hitting it. That would end up being on county property, I believe it is. And then back by this guardrail here, that was kind of our proposed site to put the propane tank to run the generator.
Is that generator gonna be housed or protected by weather?
Yeah, so we're hoping to attach it to the east side of our current building, go over top of the generator and over top of part of the Connex box that we're hoping to put.
So does
in
it
place.
not have its own case? It's weather pretty much like most houses are, that they have a generator with a cover on it that's weathered.
It's.
Is it different?
No, it's kind of.
Road and Bridge has theirs under a canopy.
Yeah. They're good for being out in the weather. That was just one of the stipulations of the grant.
Oh.
Through FEMA is we
Helps
have
it,
to.
But it is
protect it.
south facing, so we have natural sunlight.
Yeah.
Good.
So yeah, our board just asked that we approach the county, kind of the same
How
as
big
we
a tank?
did for. It'll be 1,000 gallon.
1,000?
Yeah, and it'll be dedicated just for the generator. Try to keep our response times good to go,
That's
business as usual.
What I understand, that's about a 30-day supply, constant on.
Okay, I haven't done
That'd
the
be something
studies on
familiar.
it yet, but.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's
Josh, will that be a manual starter, or is it an automatic starter?
automatic, yeah.
Got a transfer switch that's
Yes.
included in the grant.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Yeah, transfer switch, all the dirt work, concrete we have to do, propane tank, the line, the awning cover for it, and then the generator and everything itself is all included in the grant. I think we have a 12% match is all we have, so not too terrible. I know we did ask for a variance when we were working on blueprints for our station remodel. For the north side of the station, you guys, I believe, gave us a variance on that.
Where the staircase
2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna kinda impede on road and bridges, the property line on the road and bridge. So this is, I guess, kind of another thing.
Dual fuel or propane only? Or-
Propane.
It'll come to us dual fuel, but it'll be strictly, we'll use it strictly propane, yeah.
I just want to make sure we had a gas.
Yeah, I think they do they send them capable for natural gas or propane.
Very good.
Okay.
I'm assuming this hasn't gone through the Board of Zoning Adjustment? And if not, why not?
Yeah, we're trying to figure out whose land it really is. I'm kinda under the assumption that it's county's land, cause that's the road and bridge lot. But I am also set up to talk with, the town of West Cliff, permit stuff like that through them as well.
Well, to the extent that it's a variance.
If it's a variance and it's adjusting the line, it might need to.
Well, if it's a variance,
You don't, I grant.
I'm concerned about the precedent we're setting up. I mean, I recognize it's another governmental entity coming through us, but when a private citizen comes to us and says we want variance, our zoning resolution says they go through the Board of Zoning Adjustment. And I'm a little concerned about us kind of just de facto making an exception here.
Well, I hear you, but I don't think, I agree, it could be. However, I think because it is ours and the commissioners can make the adjustment, we approve it anyway. So we could, I believe, but I think that, what would the town have to do with it?
Just our permits that we
The
have
height
to pull
and everything.
through. Yeah, we'd have to pull permits for the electrical, probably permits.
So what would the variance
installing the
say?
tank.
Is the line 10 feet, 1 feet?
So I think, in the letter, we're hoping to get a variance setback, of 14 extra feet to the east. We'd be able to extend that concrete pad if needed up to those guardrails that are in place now. And then another 5 foot to the north where those other guardrails are at.
Yep, you have that all on paper. JD can take a look at that.
Yes, yeah, I
Okay.
believe we printed off.
My other question is, are we running a line from propane, or are we installing a propane tank, or is it near
Gonna be
one?
installing a propane tank. It'll be brand new
It has
tank.
to be
brand new
lined up.
line.
500 gallon
We're gonna do 1,000
or
gallon
1,000 gallon?
and then,
Really? When I
yeah.
asked that question.
And I've received a
Good
quote
lines to think about.
from a contractor to grade that area off for us, and I'm hoping they'll just do it in gravel, so moisture can still go through, and probably put some French drains through there to keep moisture away.
Well,
from the building.
Dan's right, we have to have it legally written out and
Right.
plotted, and platted, or
Okay.
whatever you call it.
So, in reality, what you're asking for is permission to build on our ground. Either we
That's
need
different
to,
from the variance.
right,
That's right.
we either need to give, the variance would be done through, if we would grant you the ground, and the ground would become your property, then it's to go to West Cliff and ask for the variance, because now you're pushing the property line,
Into,
or you're pushing the building envelope, or your building envelope, where you're putting your stuff on their setbacks, right? Am I correct on that?
Yeah, this is.
and we didn't do it with the Saddle Club
Our
when
zoning resolution.
we did it with the water issue with Saddle Club, we didn't, it was our land.
Right.
We ran it with the expectation that the drawings were out there and we know where the hydrants are located and all that, so.
Right.
I think we can approve letting them do it.
I can say that we can, I'm more than willing to make the motion and approve that we that we give them the ground
Right.
or the permission to build on the ground.
Right.
The variance is still gonna
There's no-
come through West
Right,
Cliff.
no variance.
Then we
That's right.
didn't need the variance because we just need the transfer.
Right, I agree.
Okay, so I'll make the motion that you're more than welcome to build on our ground and start moving forward with what you need to do to keep this grant in motion and keep your backup generator.
How much, you got a timeline on it?
It's a 3-year, start to finish.
Oh,
Yeah, so
They'll be able to do that.
we're about 6 months into it now,
Okay.
dotting the i's and crossing the t's, but.
So we really need to probably grant an easement.
Yeah,
An
That'd
easement.
be true.
Right,
So it really needs to be something documented, not just.
That's true, correct.
So, and the other thing is I mean, how specific would it be in terms of a legal description of the little piece of land that we're,
all we gotta do is
Yeah.
define the boundary and the easement to run his propane tank, the line.
we don't have a county surveyor, do we, or do we?
Nope.
Yes, we have one we hire.
Okay,
Yeah.
Alan, all.
Contractor.
I mean, we may need to have a county surveyor go out and do a little work for us to define that piece, so that we can.
But you can
find-
stake it out.
Then we
and
can
you
get the
define it.
exact
Okay.
measurements and everything.
So I guess what I would suggest, and sorry to kind of be the fly in the ointment here,
No,
what I would suggest is that if that's something the board wants to do, you make that motion. We tell Wet Mountain they can go ahead and
Do it, and then
begin the work,
Correct.
and then we'll work on the easement in the interim. And a written document in front of you.
you can get a hold of the surveyor. and
Next
have
few
it
weeks,
documented.
depending on how quick the surveyor can do that work.
I'll second your motion.
To that
the amended
amended
motion.
motion. That he'll get,
You wanna state that again?
yeah. State it so Kelly can write.
Don't just put done.
So I'll make the motion that we approve Wet Mountain Fire Protection District to begin building on our ground, and we will work out
An easement form,
an easement or
document.
documented easement for that property.
And then they'll get the surveyor to
Do you need the
define it.
property?
You want us to contact the.
Alan Allman, and I'll give you the phone number.
Okay, perfect.
Let Kelly catch
Kelly catch up here.
Okay, any other discussion up here? Discussion in public?
Somebody said that.
I'll
He
second.
said,
I don't have any,
I'm in here.
sounds like a good thing.
Good. I got all my answers.
All right, all in favor of the motion to grant them the authority to go proceed with their easement? Emergency generator. Say aye, Lucas.
Aye.
Paul.
Vogelsong, aye.
Kanda, aye.
Very good.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremiah.
I'll send you the contact form.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Very good.
Thank you.
That's good.
Okay.
Okay, next up, we've got the James Perry Daylight Drains request. What do we got? Who's presenting?
Mr. Perry.
Oh, there he is.
Come on forward, James.
James.
Paul. Good to see you again.
You too. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for having us here. Favor to ask, Caitlin, would we be able to bring up the county assessor's page so we can get a map of the property?
Speak up, please. We don't
Okay,
have.
I'm sorry.
Please speak up.
I have your blueprint.
Yes,
That'll work.
okay, I
Can
just
you
didn't
pull
know
it?
if anyone needed to see a map of the property for context. If we
It would
could,
be good.
okay. So I apologize, I don't have an actual printout with me today, but if we could bring up the county assessor's page, I could quickly give you the address.
You do this one, yeah.
He's very small.
Thank you, sir. So to introduce myself, my name is James Perry, and I've been up here, off and on for a while. We're full-time as of last year. We're delighted to be here. We're blessed to have land on the county floor, and we're building. So we're building a house. It's currently a hay operation, grazing operation, and we're going to be building a vegetable farm there as well. So the plan is long-term settlement. So I've got a wife and 3 kids, and again, we're delighted to be up here. And one of the things we were thinking about with this house
Give us an address.
2260 County Road 150.
Okay. Go ahead.
Thank you. So the face of the house points south, and passive solar is a part of the design. So we have a greenhouse buffer in the front of the house. And the idea was that you would also use that as kind of a mudroom. You come in, you've been working outside, you're dirty. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to hose off your boots or something? 4 seasons, whether it's windy or not, you come into this greenhouse, kind of a foyer, an entryway, and the proposal is to have floor drains, but instead of sending extra silt and dirt to the septic system, we could daylight it. And we've been exploring it. So our plumber, Nathaniel White of White Brothers Plumbing, has been helping us with that. And we have the plumbing base installed. The inspector, Mr. Sam Toman from State Plumbing Board, is supportive of this, but the State Plumbing Board follows the International Plumbing Code. And there's one little nuance. They say that you may daylight a drain, which means you may route the drain to a direct outdoor location if it's approved in writing. That's exception number 2. So if the county approves in writing, the State Plumbing Board would be good with this. So that's why we're here today. We're seeking written approval in order to allow 2 floor drains to discharge into the pasture. And for clarification, there's no oil, no grease. This would just be in a greenhouse area with water and dirt as we wash mud off our boots.
Or other stuff.
Yes, yes, as the animals allow. So the drawing that I have here, and let me just narrate for everyone. So down here, we have 2 parcels. The western parcel in the southeast corner, this is our building area. It's a little bit higher, a little bit drier, and we have pulled permit with the county. We have the septic system already built, and I'm actually a licensed septic installer. So everything is in accordance. We have that permit squared away. We have infrastructure on site. We're currently building the home in this area, and the proposed discharge would be north. So the slope of the land falls away as you go towards Muddy. And this is kind of the boggy area, but here just water and dirt would discharge to the north of the house. Any questions so far? Okay. And then we also provided a floor plan to the county commissioners, and we located the 2 proposed floor drains. So the blue circle, there's a little greenhouse over here on the east, so the morning sun would come in, provide warmth for the house. And if you came in from the east, then you'd be able to hose off, and the daylight drain would go approximately 30 feet out to the north. The front door is down here to the south, and we would have this 12 by 12 foyer area. We'd have the floor drain here. Its discharge would run west, northwest, and then up to the north. So again, out of the way, and we propose only to have dirt, water, and animal products.
Okay, and you don't have a barn?
No, not at this time, sir, no.
Because I know you could do the same thing with a drain in a horse washout stall and daylight them.
Yes, yeah.
So, okay. Got a question? You got something to support you?
Yeah, so, to your point, there's a lot of that in the county, you know, kids washing their critters up.
Right.
Right.
We even do it at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, exactly, so I would be in support of a broader description that we could give to the plumbing inspector when we have a horse washing stall in the barn or something like that.
That's why I asked.
Yeah.
To give approval for the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yes.
And so at this time, the on-site wastewater treatment system regulation does not directly address floor drains of this manner, and the planning and zoning, the zoning ordinance, to my knowledge, current version does not address this either. So it is our hope that if everyone's in agreement today, that could establish some precedent for us to formally address this for other parties as well.
Okay.
I'll take that for action.
You want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we accept James's proposal for a daylight drain. I believe the address was 2260
Yes, sir.
County Road 150. To go ahead and approve
To include
include,
the
include.
horse stalls,
No,
or watch or not?
No.
We're going just.
So
Just
that
this.
will be new business, and it'll be part of our outs and our P and Z regulations.
Okay.
Okay, make a
Well,
motion
make sure.
to accept James's proposal for a daylight drain that is actually a garage greenhouse to open field. Do we need more?
We need less.
Yeah, simplify it.
Simplify it?
Make the
Make a motion
motion
to
Move to.
To either
accept and approve
or disapprove the daylight drains.
daylight
That's right.
drain.
As presented.
As presented with the blueprint.
Simple enough for you.
Yeah, I'll second.
Okay. All right, any other discussion?
Can you guys add that as a future item for the garage scope that we?
Yeah, we need to take that through
Well,
we need to put that in our outs or planning and zoning and make that part of our regulation. So we need.
And we're gonna be updating that anyway.
And I haven't noticed.
So we need to really touch that on that, in that in that formality.
This
So
was a
that it
good
goes through
head,
the process.
heads up for this was great.
But yeah, I agree, we need to address it whole as a countywide, so we're not doing this.
Everybody has a
Every
barn,
time.
and you have to do it.
And I have a note to make that addition to our plans.
And that's your bailiwick.
Yes.
I'd be happy to provide
Okay.
code context and stuff like that
Okay,
during that discussion.
sounds good, thank
We
you.
need it. Did you get
Okay, she's got the motion.
that motion?
We haven't called for the vote. Any other comments? Okay, let's hear a vote to approve the James Perry daylight drains as presented. All in favor, aye. Lucas?
Aye.
Paul?
Bogus line.
Aye, Ken.
Thank you, sir.
Good job, nice presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, next is the special events permit for the Rotary Club for Rockin' the Ranch event. El Presidente, you're up.
President.
Oh, you got booted?
No.
What do you mean past president?
Hey, Lucas, Phil, hi, Paul. I don't have a slide, but I have a very nice little post.
Thank you, Stone. Thanks, guys. You could stay for another project.
So I'm here today to request a permit on behalf of the Rotary Club of Wet Mountain Valley for serving alcohol on Beckwith Ranch property Saturday, August 2nd. The event will take place from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and it's going to be just exactly as the same. Oh, you already have it up? Oh, I do have a slide. I didn't know it. The event will be exactly as it was the last 2 years. Free entrance. We sell beverages. I've got 2 vendors selling food. And the Beckwith Mansion will be open and the gift shop will be open. And they make some money on the side selling root beer floats. We have live music all day. People are not allowed to bring in outside food or beverages. And the first year that we did it, which was 2 years ago, we netted, our Rotary Club mission statement is to provide youth and senior services both locally and internationally. So I connected with a Rotary Club in Poland, and we provided, well, of the proceeds that we made 2 years ago, we split it between local and supporting an orphanage in Poland for Ukrainian children. Last year, the net proceeds were split between high school scholarships and a project that helps promote literacy in Mexico, southern Mexico. This year, we're not going to split it. All of our proceeds will be supporting the van service. And if we can make enough at this event, our club is going to match it, and we're going to get a matching. So if we can come up with $5,000, we go to the district, and the district matches it, and we'll have $10,000 to give to the van service. when you get any grant with Rotary, it has to buy something. You can't say this is gonna pay for office rent or office, it has to buy something. So we just put on the application one thing, gasoline. So I think $10,000, if we can do it, will provide more than a couple of tanks of gasoline for the van service, so.
And the van services issues have all been ironed out in the past.
Yes, yes.
Bookkeeping and everything's solid.
Yeah, the bookkeeping, everything with the van service, the van service technically is a separate
Yeah.
501c3, so as president of the club, I had no jurisdiction over the van service.
But you don't want to give your money to somebody that you don't.
No, that's all been straightened out.
Okay.
Now, the funding that we lost from the Arkansas government organization, that has not returned, but the van service is on strong footing.
Good.
Any questions?
I don't have any other questions. I'll move that we approve the special events permit for the Rotary Club Rockin' the Ranch event.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any other discussion up here?
We never get samples, never.
Yeah, I know. Oh, and by the way, you've got it marked clearly where you can't walk off with a beer.
Correct. Well, the
So
entire,
we can't even hang
the
out.
entire premises is fenced in, and we have a sign, no alcohol beyond
Yeah,
this point. There hasn't been any issues in the past. That's not to say that there's not gonna be an issue in the future, but it's not a big drunk fest, and there's so few youth on the premises, but we do have tip certified help.
That's great.
Members of our club that have taken the tip certification. And just to quickly review the entertainment, in case you're interested in showing up.
Don't tell me you're playing.
No, I'm not. I'm too busy running the event. But Smythe and Taylor, 2 acoustic guitars, wonderful original songs. Heidi Claire and Ron Thomason they'll be playing at the Bluegrass Festival, and that's real entertainment. Accidentally Blue is run by Bob Reed, who's from Westcliff, and Frady Katz is half Westcliff, half Canyon City people.
Good.
Straight ahead rock and roll, nothing outrageous.
Thanks for that. Good job. Any questions, points online? Okay, all in favor then of approving the permit for the Rotary Club Rockin' the Ranch event, say aye. Paul?
Aye.
Lucas?
Aye.
Canada, aye. Go for it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is the consideration of giving the Public Health 1997 Ford E150 handicap van back to the original donor. And Ann, you want to say anything on that?
I'd be glad to if you need information on it.
First of all, before you do that, I want to thank you for donating that in the first place. And we did use it, but we were upgrading it, and it got to be really a costly thing to get it updated because the brains on the lift got screwed up somehow. But it was a wonderful thing for you to have done. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I'm Ann Barker, and what we had presented back in June 30, 21, my sister had passed away that April, and she was paraplegic. And a request had been made in conversation that a group needed a van to transport vets to their doctor appointments. And given the situation of my sister, my brother-in-law, Leif Hermanson, said he would donate the van to public health. The caveat to that was that if the county decided that they didn't need to ever use the van again, or at some point, that it was to be returned to him. And that's where we are at today, from what I understand, with the usage of the van, just sitting there. Need anything else for that?
No, I don't believe so. With where we're sitting with this van, and that I could not find any proof that we gave Leif a tax deductible receipt for it, which we should have, but we didn't. Since we didn't, I feel like since will not be using this vehicle, we need to give it back to the original donor, donate it back, whatever we want to call it, and get it off of our insurance rolls and our books. So just trying to clean up some things with public health, and that is one of them, so.
Okay, good.
So my question is, Dan, do we donate it or do we just transfer it? What do we do there?
It's the same thing. Yeah, we would transfer, donate, whatever word you want to use, it's the same.
Just motion to donate, transfer it back to the original.
Yeah.
Got a motion?
I'll make a motion to transfer back to Leif Hermanson the Public Health 1997 Ford E150 handicap van.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to transfer the 1997 Ford E150 handicap van back to the original owner. Any other comments here?
No.
Comments in the public? Thank you again, Ann, for your family's caring about things for the county. It's great.
You're welcome.
A lot of work, thanks. All in favor then of that motion, say aye. Paul?
Aye.
Lucas?
Aye.
Kenda, aye. Okay, now we come on to the useful public service contract.
Correct. That we bought. There we go.
Okay, Bob's up. Bob,
Morning.
Human
Welcome aboard.
Resources, let's hear what you got.
So Christine Wilson, who is a part-time employee of the county, which is also a part-time county of the 11th Judicial District here with us. She's announced her intention to retire or leave employment with the state and with us. She is currently handling the useful public service UPS needs for the county. So in other words, for the public, if a district judge orders useful public service work as part of a sentence, in other words, if someone is sentenced to whatever, mow the grass or to do public service, she handles those requirements for those sentenced.
Say her name louder again.
Christine Wilson.
Christine.
So as I was looking at trying to figure out what to do with those services and position, I spent some time with Christine and learning a little bit more about what it is and how it works. In doing so, I learned that she does nearly all of it, if not all of it, online with the sentenced individuals and meeting with them or talking with them and or setting up work through contacts that she's made throughout the time. So there is not much in office time with the sentenced individuals.
Or observing or monitoring the guy.
Any of that. The amount of money she brings in through fees is approximately a little over $2,000 a year, is all. Because the sentenced or the people who have been sentenced to do work have to pay a fee. Her amount of money she brings in is roughly over $2,000. Now the county, we're spending a little over $9,000 in wages and everything else to support the work she does. Also learning from her that the other counties in the 11th Judicial District all use a company or outsource it through, it's called Intervention, Inc., to do the same thing, except they don't have an employee that does it. They outsource it to Intervention, which is a external community corrections center services.
And how much per year would that amount?
So I have a meeting with, a phone conversation with them tomorrow at 9 o'clock to find out what all that entails. They have a gentleman that comes up here once a week or however it is now for the courts to see if that makes any financial sense for us to join the other counties in the 11th Judicial District to use their services instead of trying to have a part-time employee who does that.
So Fremont County, Shady County, us, Sparta, Pueblo County, El Paso County all use this company.
Yes,
Except us.
we're the only ones. She provided me a list of all everybody in the state, what they're doing. There are some who use a different community corrections service provider. There's a few that in-house as a county employee. There are some who run it through the sheriff's office. I talked to Under Sheriff Barnes to see if they had an interest in doing it through the sheriff's office. She didn't have an interest in doing it. So,
Who administers the contract for the government? All counties? Is there one point of contact, or do we all?
we all kind of do it individually through, so what she does is she provides the court, the district judge issues the public service mandate, and they contact her. She does all the paperwork and makes sure it gets done, collects the fee, and then we keep the money, and then she sends the paperwork and correct everything that's done back to the courts.
Then how do we know as a county it was completed correctly? You know, how's the program administered, I guess?
She administers
Who's the
it.
program manager? She's the program manager.
She's the program manager, and what we would do is transferring all that stuff to intervention as opposed to doing it ourselves. Like I said, at this point, it's a losing proposition for the county financially, because we're only taking in a little over $2,000 a year, but we're spending a little over $9,000 a year to pay her wages to do that.
Is this, contract services, is this a per case basis?
Yes.
Okay,
So the amount of money that she brings in is driven by the number of orders, useful public service requirements set by the judge.
So did we actually we pay her to sit there and only do $2,000 worth of work during the year?
Yes.
A big waste of time, big waste of money.
Well, she does
other
part-time,
things.
she's a part-time clerk for the courts
Yeah.
as well. And so they just added this to it. It's a nice fit between the two, because of the connection between the courts and this position. But in her comments to me, is it could be done by somebody who's wanted to do it part-time, and they could do it remotely.
Okay.
Question. Bob, do we keep any records, or we get a copy of to file for the county that we know what they've done for us? Is there any auditing involved here locally, or is it all done at their office remote?
Christine uses an office in the courthouse. She shares the probation officer's office. There's a desk in there that she uses when she's doing it. As far as records for what was ordered, the courts probably keep all that.
But as an outsourcing, do we get a copy of to file?
Probably, and I'll find more of that out tomorrow when I talk with their executive director
Somebody's got to
of
be
this
a point
area.
of contact for
Yeah.
us somehow.
It would be, my understanding is it would be this intervention would be our point of contact for us, just like they are for the other counties.
So we would ask them to make a report to us
Yeah,
and come to a meeting if we want.
yeah, if that's what you want. I don't
I'm
know
not
how
saying
the
we would,
other,
I'm just trying
Is
to
there
get
a
her.
representative?
yeah, they would be our representative, similar to what they do for the other counties in the 11th Judicial District. So I will have that meeting tomorrow to see what it is they charge, Obviously, the hope is that it would be less than $9,000 a year that we're spending now for Christine's services that she provides as far as an employee.
Okay, so this is good, this was put on as a discussion.
Yes, just as a
not here to make
discussion.
decision.
Right, I just want you
Need
to be
more
aware of
info.
it. I'm talking with their person tomorrow to get the information. If it makes financial sense, then I would ask to put it on the agenda for your consideration of whatever
And
contract.
they're coming up here, or she's.
Well, no, I'm doing it by phone
Okay.
tomorrow. Anyone's welcome to sit in on the conversation.
I'll probably sit.
When's she bailing, when's
July 31st is Christine's last
So
day.
we gotta meet.
So there's not a lot of time.
To figure out when we wanna consider, but we need the info.
Right. I wanted to have the discussion if you're interested.
I think
Makes
it's
sense?
worth- I think it's worth looking into.
Yeah.
I'll join you.
It is
Okay.
worth looking into. I want to correct a perception that we've probably put out there. So spending $9,000 on that is no different than spending $60,000 on a police officer, $80,000 on a vehicle to get speeding tickets, which we only get whatever money we get back. So
Right.
I want to clear up that perception. A perception is wrong. $9,000 is what the agreement was for her to monitor a program. That we only
Yes.
took in $2,000 is irrelevant to the whole
I'm not here to
conversation.
make.
Right.
Which way do we want to go? Do we want to hire another county employee to do this or an outside source? That's what we need to consider.
Right.
That's-
We'll
So
have
if-
to cost back.
Okay, and there's always been a managing commissioner that's been over Christina, so there's always been monitoring, whether a commissioner chose to monitor it or not.
That is all correct. So it just seemed like a reasonable, as we want to decide, are we gonna replace Christina as an employee?
Go get the information from
Yeah. Or
contract.
do we want to contract it out? Either way is
I'll work
fine.
with Bob on that.
I'm good. Any other comments? I think we'll see that on another agenda
Yes,
soon,
soon. I would hope for like maybe next one.
maybe.
Make it it'll be the 23rd, it won't be the next one.
Okay, the 23rd?
23rd.
Okay,
Okay.
The next one's
23rd?
staff reports.
okay.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, thanks for the info.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Vince, you're up. We need a chip seal. You better be good at it.
It's nothing but rocks.
I know you can handle it. But you gotta quit breaking them. Called me up, says everything I touch breaks.
Yes, it does.
At least I didn't run over it.
Okay, what we're thinking about is we have a chipper up here with a local contractor. We're thinking about buying back from him. I just got an email from him this morning and he wants $15,000 for it. So the trucking, we found a company in Idaho that rebuilds these chippers from one end to the other. They put their own electronics on them.
So start over. We had a chipper.
We had a chipper.
We decided we didn't want to maintain it and sold it, and now we're gonna buy it back to
Yes.
update it for a second one. Okay.
Yes. And so this is in Idaho, and this is not a direct quote, without looking at the machine from the company in Idaho. It's between 40 and 45K to fix this machine in Idaho. And they're the only company in the United States that rebuilds these chip spreaders. I talked to a local trucking company up here, it's Hobby Trucking, and he said it would cost $3,900 one way, that's not written in stone, to take it up there. That's with permits and hauling it to Idaho. Because as road and bridge, we can't truck it ourselves.
And then he would deadhead back, so we're paying for it round trip.
If he could find a backhaul, the $3,900 could be cheaper.
Okay.
That's if he can find a backhaul. Presently, we have a chipper in the shop, but it's so old that we had to farm out rollers. And we had to put 25 new rollers on it, and they have to be built each individually, because.
You're on a different chipper.
Yeah, the one we have in the shop broke down. So it's just taking time to get parts for it. It's so old, you can't get parts for it. And a lot of you guys have been around a chip spreader. but this machine, I'm just gonna be plain, it's cantankerous. If everything doesn't work perfect, one little part or joint sticks, it quits.
Shuts down.
It shuts down. This chip spreader has to be in perfect working order. Because the reason it has to be is because we have to hire a contractor to spray our oil to chip seal. So consequently, when he's up here, we have to be able to have a machine that's reliable to put 4 to 6 miles of rock down on the oil. Yesterday, we broke down, so I had to send a load and a half of oil back to Denver, which cost the county. They had to ship it back to Denver. If the machine was more reliable, our chip spreader machine, that wouldn't have happened. We'd have been done yesterday.
Do they keep it hot on the?
Yes, that sprayer truck keeps it warm.
It's an emulsion that's heated, it goes down.
Last year, I don't know what it's gonna quote this year, I haven't got the bill yet, but last year we did 4 miles on Schoolfield. The oil alone last year was $62,000 just for the oil. So it's expensive to keep the roads up.
Yeah.
That's not including the rock. This rock this year is costing me $16 a ton for 3/4 inch minus rock to put on the roads. So we're putting approximately 4,000 ton of rock down, so do the math, 16 times 4,000, that's just a rock.
That's 3/4?
Yes.
3/4.
And that doesn't include truck hours, that doesn't include the guy's wages, that's just material.
And that's the stuff we chipped ourselves.
Yeah, it's shipped from a local contractor. So what I'm asking the commissioners, if we could repurchase this machine, chipper spreader from the guy that bought it from us, and find the money somehow and ship it to Idaho and have it reconditioned and have it built like it's supposed to be.
So roughly the cost would be 60,000 or more.
Yeah, you'd probably be looking at $75,000 all in.
But a rebuilt one,
A rebuilt machine from this company in Idaho is between 270,000 up to 300,000, depends how fancy you want to get.
that's a rebuild.
That's rebuilt.
Brand new, they're 3 times that.
Okay, if we do that, what's our backup chipper then?
Our backup chipper will be the one that's presently in the shop right now. Getting new rollers, new belts, and new bearings.
And the cost on that to update it is?
Well, when we first bought the machine, we had to put brand new hydraulic pumps on it, we had to put brand new hoses on it, we had to put brand new bearings in it.
So we got a lot of new parts on it already?
We got already between $7,000 and $8,000 in it now, and we're putting another $5,000 to $6,000 in it for bearings and rollers.
Okay, so it could be standby if something simple happened to our
Yes.
newly refurbished one, once you get your unlucky hands on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like the idea. What do you think?
Yeah, we need to do it.
Got it in the budget, and then we'll
Well,
have to look at the end of
so-
the day on your budget.
We pulled out 150 out of your budget, so I'm afraid just, until I get some good numbers on where we're at with our reserves,
Yeah, we have to find out.
I'm gonna say we're just gonna take it out of your budget, and we'll piecemeal it out of your budget somewhere.
How we get it back.
And then therefore, another thing we can do is we help chip seal the town of Surcliff. I haven't totaled up the total cost yet. We have $6,000 in just hauling their rock from Texas Creek, and they owe us. And I don't have the hours totaled up for what it costs to chip seal. If we can do Silver Cliff and West
Cut a
Cliff,
deal with Westwood.
with West Cliff to chip seal all their roads and make some more extra money, it'll help pay for the machine.
What are you getting out of Silver Cliff? How much?
Well, we was 10 hours with all the machines, so another 6,000.
6,000, so
Yeah, so
that-
we, between trucking and
That
chip
helps pay for
sealing,
the trucking.
12, 15,000.
Okay. So I'll talk with Paul and Winky and see what he said.
Okay. I mean, we need to do something long-term, and that current chipper is, if every time we need a new part, we're gonna have to go out and fabricate it. It's not gonna last very long as a backup.
So we'll be keeping our eye on that next year's budget and see what we can.
Because currently we're borrowing from Fremont County. Unfortunately, we had a problem with it yesterday, but Fremont County come up this morning and fixed it, so it's ready to go.
What
They,
is
they really did us a
their,
favor.
what is their price? Are they gifting it to
Yeah,
us?
it is a gift.
It's a gift.
Me, I, as the road supervisor, and Jim, the road supervisor of Fremont County, they grade our portion of Reed Road.
Mhm.
So I told him for us, letting us use the chipper, that when he gets ready to grade Reed Road, he has to haul water a long ways to grade that road, that I would see a water truck from us to go, to help compensate for us borrowing the
And the only
chipper.
other stipulation was it came back pristine clean.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gotta be clean, and then if we break it, we fix it, so
Right.
that's what we're doing.
I'm glad we didn't have to fix anything on this issue.
Yeah.
Okay,
Is he set firm on that 15?
I had been onto my phone, I quoted him back and tried to work him down, I haven't been to my phone yet, so.
Okay.
That's not set in stone.
if you wanna set a cap on this, and see where we go.
Yeah. As soon as I get all the numbers figured out and stuff, you know, on the machine at least, the purchase price back.
Yeah, and we need a quote estimate from the company that's gonna do it too.
Yeah.
We really need that from them, you know, a
That-
cost not to exceed, you know, because I'd hate to send it up there and all of a sudden we've got a $200,000 bill. I just,
Right,
I can't.
they gotta know enough about it.
They have how much we can handle.
But it's a stock, it's not some weird model that's out of date.
No,
for
it's not.
30 years.
The problem with the machine we sold, it's electronic, and the electronics went out in it, and nobody here in Colorado can fix them. This company, they put their own electronics on them. They redo it with their system.
Okay, I
we need-
would like to see you think about how you would wanna phrase a motion here to cap it and give you data back, and if we have to get back together and make another decision on whether it's worth it or not, we can.
We need all the
We need to
figures.
proceed getting data, I guess.
I'll get data.
Do we just bench it till we get figures, or?
Good, well.
Well,
we're-
so we need an
we-
agreement from the renovation company, the company that's gonna,
Something we can vote on.
you know, refurbish it.
Well, according to what Dan is my mechanic, when he talked to the company in Idaho, they said that was just a ballpark figure. Without looking at the machine, it could be less or more. We have to haul the machine to Idaho no matter what.
Well, I get that, but if I'm gonna look at this room and somebody's gonna go remodel it, and
I
I go,
see
I
where
don't
you're
know
coming
how, but I say, I will do,
Hey,
it's
no
gonna
more
cost
than
10,000, but
Yeah, you gotta have a set
no
price.
cost to
Yeah.
exceed 15,000. Or we've entered a contract that I can't get out
Yeah,
of.
you don't want an open contract.
So in the meantime, it sounds like we have to wait for data, and before we get a real motion in here to do anything. And time is essential, and in the meantime, how long can we use Fremont County? Is it good with us?
He has to have it back in August. Okay, so what we
Okay.
did is we rescheduled. Scott and I worked on it this morning. I talked to our contractor that sprays our oil. He rescheduled everything. We are gonna work Thursday, which is tomorrow, and we're gonna work a half a day Friday, and we're gonna get our.
What day in August? Can we wait till the second week in August?
He didn't give me a date because he wasn't for sure, but he said probably the third week in August.
Then let's figure at a max, and that would be the last time we could look at it. Maybe we ought to shoot for the end of the month. Let's see if you get the data back in time, what do you think?
We need to shoot for this being on the agenda by the 23rd, at probably the latest, because
Yeah,
from what we have heard from the refurbishment company is that the sooner we get it in, the sooner we get it back. And it's an all winter long remodel job.
see now, the 23rd would be our meeting, or the 30th. So shoot for the 23rd, see if we get it.
Because we'll have some time in shipping too, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Other questions?
You have budget money. So, and if we need to make this a motion, we can make this motion, but you have budgeted money, so if you need to wheel and deal with the contractor that owns that machine,
Within our budget.
Deal with
I'm a
it.
rancher, I will.
I don't know if we need a motion on that,
Well, it's
but
his budget, and come back and,
Budget in.
you have a budget.
and as far as we're concerned, it's the right process. We just need more data on what it's gonna cost us to actually do it.
So we need to.
Because we won't buy it until we know what the big picture is anyway, just make a deal with it. Okay,
Very good.
Okay.
done.
Thank you, Vince.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Yeah, good job.
thank you.
Yep. I'm gonna leave because we got problems. So.
Okay, no problem.
Mountain Springs County Estates Road Maintenance.
Yes.
You doing that?
No, I thought he was here.
Mountain Springs, you're the presenter?
You bet.
You got a better show than he had?
If I had known I was gonna present, I'd have wore nicer clothes.
You'd have wore a tie.
I wore a tie.
That looked good on your t-shirt.
Yeah, there you go.
Brought his guitar.
Sticky one.
Get a clip on. So, I'm Terry Skaggs.
Yeah,
Yes.
So the question
Thanks.
that we've had for a long, long time is the ownership of the two roads, Deer Spring Circle and Mountain Estates, or Knoll Top. And according to the plat, 1984, signed by Mr. Kettle and Reese,
Rice.
it was dedicated to the county. Now, the lot owners have been taking care of it since then. And we've got the roads pretty much up to spec, except they're not wide enough. We let the grass grow in because we couldn't afford all the gravel for 24 foot. So I went out and measured them. They're 18. And I've got more than enough room, and there's already road base, just as grass has grown up in it. So the question is, y'all want some roads?
Want? No.
I know you don't want them, but
Are they our
yes,
responsibility?
that's the question.
The deal is, they're not our responsibility unless we accept it. It's a dedicated right of way right now, period. And then in order for us to accept it, it has to be brought up to the
Well,
specs.
and we're willing to do that. We're willing to get them up to 24.
Right.
We got culverts, I put in road reflectors, I've put in stop signs, I've put in speed limit signs on both roads. And the
How
way
many
it works,
miles of it is?
it's 1 mile on each road, and it ends at a cul-de-sac.
Can I see your?
I don't see what you.
Chairman, the board accepted
Oh, there.
the roads here.
Yeah, it
This
did.
one
Yes, he did.
and this one.
Can I see that dedication?
Yeah.
This is two.
Look at the dedication as well as the
2555.
lot of the chairman's signature.
That way it comes on.
So both of those are relevant.
That'd be great. Okay. There's 5 parcels, and there's a cul-de-sac.
Do you want to read it out loud?
So acknowledgement and acceptance of plat. This is by Leonard Rice and Mary Katnick attested. The undersigned chairman of the Board of County Commissioners of Custer County, Colorado does hereby acknowledge and accept this plat and the easements and streets indicated there on behalf of said county. Dated this 26th day of July 1984, this approval does not guarantee that the size, soil conditions, subsurface geology, groundwater conditions, or flood conditions of any specific lot shown herein are such that a building permit, well permit, or sewage disposal permit will be issued. The approval is with the understanding that all expenses involving improvements are as set forth on this plat shall be the responsibility of the subdivider and not the county of Custer. In the dedication, the above named owners have by these presents caused said tract of land to be platted into lots, easements, and streets as shown. The undersigned do hereby grant unto the county of Custer those easements and streets as indicated on this plat, and further restrict the use of such easements to the county of Custer and or its assigns, provided however that the sole right and authority to release or quit claim any or all said easements shall remain exclusively vested in the county of Custer. This subdivision as herein platted shall be known as Mountain Springs Country Estates.
The only thing I'd ask you about is if you'd please bring us up to date on the proposed subdivision on the one road.
Pardon?
The proposed subdivision beyond,
Well, there's 380 acres that Les Franklin owns at the end of the
Speak up.
at Deer Springs. And that ground's for sale. One of the things that I'm concerned about is if it does sell, 380 acres is liable to be divided up, and this road is the access to that 380 acres. And
What, is that 380 acres part
at
of?
the end, no, it's not part of
It's on the
us.
north side.
No, it's on the south side.
that's south.
South side of Deer
This
Springs.
upside down?
South side of Deer Springs.
This goes like this, because this is Oak Creek Great Road.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, so it's at the end of that,
Okay.
yeah, that's where it's
I
at.
need the north arrow on here. There it is.
Should be up here.
Yeah. Okay,
And the way it works now, currently, is we've been charging our homeowners in the HOA $100 a year per lot. And that's not much money, but we've done it over the years and got the roads to where, it used to be they were just cow paths, and now they're real roads.
you don't have a lot of traffic though, right?
Yeah,
We have a lot of traffic
Out of, on
People.
all these roads?
on all these roads.
Going where?
In
To
and
their
out.
lots, just to their lots?
Yeah. And the way it works right now is we grade it once a year and put road base on as we have money to put road base on.
How many houses are actually out there?
There's 23 lots in the whole subdivision. On that particular road,
23 lots and 10 houses?
6, I think.
there's six houses on that particular road. And then on the upper road, there's Naylor's Place, there's 1, 2, Aldridge Place, 3, 4, 5, 6 on it.
There's 6 and 6.
There's 6 and 6, and then the other lots are over off of 254.
Okay.
We've been taking care of snow removal as well.
So this is consideration of, you called it maintenance, what do you mean by that?
Just grading. That's what we do. And road base is needed, and we've, like I said,
How
we've,
many culverts are in there?
jeepers. Let me think. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 culverts, and then the one out on the county road, 255, so there'd be.
I don't know how big they are.
They're,
That would be
they were, we've had them dug out. We've had, Seifers has been out there working on our roads for us. Brad, Alan Avery, we've had Austin Cook. So we've had people out there that know what they're doing, grading the roads and getting them up to spec. And you wouldn't have to bring a maintainer very far because you maintain that flat spot there on 255 about every 3 weeks. It's graded, and so all you have to do is, if you wanted to, make a right-hand turn, and there you are.
So it's 1.1. Total is 2 miles, did we say?
Yeah.
Yeah, we added 2 miles to county maintenance.
I've marked all the pins.
That would be up to both cul-de-sacs.
Yeah, just to the cul-de-sacs, yeah. And I've marked all the property lines, pins along Deer Springs and most of them along Knolltop.
Tell you what we probably should do is to move it forward. I would get Vince out there first.
Right.
I'd have him walk the road and point out what needs to be
Yep.
changed,
That's what we
updated, or
want.
whatever. And in order to bring it up to where he could take it on.
Yeah,
And it would be nice to add in there utilities, phone lines, or any other lines that would be within the ditch area or the 30-foot from the center
Yeah,
of
I
the road.
probably ought to call an 811 and get him to mark all of them.
Right.
well, yeah, we can do that.
Seriously, I'm serious.
Oh, yeah, because it's underground
And
service.
they need to know how deep they are, because what we've had happen, just pulling the shoulders up, you pull a line out.
Yeah, there's the phone line that goes back to the landlines. is on the upper side, and then it does cross Deer Spring, down by my place. The power company runs, underground all the way to the end of the cul-de-sac. And there's green boxes, and that's another question.
And both of those were marked when Vince comes out to do that assessment.
Yeah,
That would be able to tell him if he could pull ditches and do a proper ditching.
we've got 60, well, y'all have 60 feet.
Right.
And I've made sure that everybody knows, don't put anything in that 60 feet, because that's, not ours.
Correct.
Also, we need to know, timing wise, I don't think we can do it in this year's budget. And it would have to be something.
Well, we'll have to get everything spec'd up, and we have a meeting.
That's right, we need to take a look and see
Right.
what we would have to plan for next year's budget, which is coming up.
Correct.
But,
That's
and
what we
then,
decided to
the
do.
other question I've got is it correct for me to assume then, regardless of whether you maintain it or not, or decide to maintain it or not, that is your ground, not ours,
Correct. According to that.
according to the plat?
According to the past commissioners.
It's
and-
an easement that we own.
Yes, you own, that's one of the questions I've got, because we've had
According to
questions from some of the property owners.
You see, in other places, people owned in the middle of the road,
Correct.
and
That's not how this is written.
that's not how this is written.
Right. This is written as, and the way the rule is the middle of the roadway, 30 feet to each side is what normally is what they're going by.
Are there any trees out there?
Some on the.
Some on the upper road, there's
Not many.
not many there's none on the.
No, there's none like close to
No.
ditches or anything or property.
And the ditches are all, we've got ditches
Okay.
on both sides.
It's high time.
All right, we can move on, that's good. We need to get Vince, go out there and he can come back whenever he's got.
So you want me to schedule that with him, or do you guys want to
You
schedule
guys
that?
work it out.
Yeah, this may be something back.
Okay.
That's Vince and him, they can decide, and Vince can decide to put it in his budget, if that's what he's going to do.
I know the commissioners having a moment because we've already made the decision.
That's right, we already own it,
It's already there,
There are
and
easements.
everything, we just need to.
So that's,
but we're not gonna, we have to raise the money, we're the only
Oh, yeah.
ones that can spend the money.
Yeah,
Raise it.
understand.
We gotta make sure we can put it in the budget.
we're not asking for money from since 1984.
You wouldn't have got
So we're just going forward.
it, that happens in everybody's subdivision.
I know. So thank you so much.
Okay.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Paul.
It's Terry.
Time we got, 10:17, one, okay.
We're at 10:17.
Okay, that concludes the new business for today. Any additional items? Business?
No, this brings up a conversation and a workshop that we need to have, and we need to start doing an assessment of all our subdivision roads. Are we maintaining roads that we shouldn't? And are we not maintaining roads that we should be? Based upon agreements that were made in the past. And we need to, just like everything else, we need to clean our crap up.
I
Get
agree.
it solved.
And we can get Vince to,
Because if we are claiming a road under the gas tax, HUTF funds, and we're getting paid for it, we probably should be fixing it, because otherwise, why are we accepting the money for it?
Right. Well, and the volume of people has increased on certain places where, like, for instance, 265 just gets hammered because of the commuters now. And
true, we got
the Fall Park 265 is one of them that, the population, I don't know what the percentage is, but when they put the counter out there, they were amazed at how many people actually traveled the main roads coming into town.
right. Okay. Get Vince to do that. Anything else from you?
No, just to add on to that, we do have roads that are county maintained, and we have access roads that get plowed
Forest Service stuff.
when it's convenient, and we have roads that only get maintenance once a year. So those are the three categories, so.
Okay.
So we'll get a letter written for you, James.
Thank you.
And does that need to be all three of us signature, Dan?
The chair can sign, I think, on behalf of the board.
Okay,
Okay.
all right,
Thank
well,
you so much.
we'll get a letter written up and we'll get your signature on it then.
Right. Okay,
Anne's got one.
we're done, let's get it, are we done with this now? Go ahead, Andy.
Late Hermanson is my son-in-law. He could not be here today. How do we affect that transfer? What do we need to do? Well, I can get the title to Bill and Bill can sign it.
Yeah, we'll just look him up whenever we can do it. Or transfer it to you, you can give it to him.
Okay,
I'll give it to him.
all right, fine.
Ann?
Yes, and Arthur. When you're talking about the roads and everything, there's a lot of confusion and discussion in the backgrounds, and what I would ask is, arbitrarily, they took roads that had 3-year maintenance plans and they just vacated them. This was years ago. But a lot of those for us were escape routes. It was our second alternative. So there's no discussion with anybody about whether we wanted to keep that road or whatever, and if you get, now they're not being maintained.
That's a good point.
We've lost that.
Because you're in there.
So I would look at what got vacated versus, and private roads. I understand where they're coming from, but if you have to be in an escape route mode and you're looking at fire mitigation or any type of situation, we have no way. Everybody has locked us out with all these private roads.
Well, and bring up a good point, but we actually do, when we are aware of it, we just did one on Haven Road, for example, because they wanted to block access. And of course you can't, but you can make it so that fire trucks can go through, you get cattle guards on, whatever, to make it sure that those things happen. And you do have an escape route, that has to happen, especially in the fire.
And I'm talking even about the people.
Yeah,
If you want to come out, like, for instance, one around us was vacated many years ago on a 3-year maintenance plan, and it was our way to get over to the other side. Once you get to the other side, it's a private road, so you're still stuck. You can't get through the gates or anything. So I'm just asking consideration. Look at the bigger picture. We're
right.
going into all these fire mitigation rules and codes and everything, and we don't want to create a problem for ourselves.
No.
I got a question for Ann. Ann, you said it was private road, is it also a BLM access road? You know?
It used to be.
Okay, because the 3-year plan was pretty much for a BLM or National Forest access
To
road.
clarify, that road was not BLM land. It went between 2 properties and they took the access.
That's the one at the
And they
corner,
vacated it.
that's the one at the corner of 131 and 132, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta fix that,
But there's
because
a
they're
lot
parking
of
stuff in there,
pockets.
it's not a parking lot either.
Yeah.
Okay,
That
good.
Adams.
Debbie Adams, are you there?
I am. Good morning. Paul, I gave you some material yesterday, and I'm wondering if you brought it to hand it out.
I have not.
You mentioned it.
Not have it?
It is in my other vehicle. I was gonna bring the other vehicle today and I totally forgot to bring it in. I will hand carry those and pass them on.
Well, it's okay. I'll be there at the July 23rd meeting and I'll hand it out. I just wanted to keep the county commissioners up to date on the material that Custer County Tourism is producing.
Good, thanks, Debbie.
Thank you.
Sorry about that, Deb.
Okay, all right, any other now we can go with additional, or the public comment. Any other items?
No.
We've got quite a few, okay. Hearing none, I'll adjourn this meeting at